Hello, everyone, and welcome to Michelle's Podcast News, where we bring you the latest updates from the podcasting world. I am your host, Michelle Tandler, and today we have some exciting news to share with you. Leading premium podcast network Audacy Podcasts has just announced a strategic partnership with Jenna Fischer and Angela Kinsey, the dynamic duo behind the award-winning, critically acclaimed hit series Office Ladies. Under this new agreement, Fisher and Kinsey will move all sales, distribution, and production for Office Ladies to Audacy. The show, which had previously been with SiriusXM since its launch in October 2019, will officially move to Audacy on August 14th, 2024. Fans can continue to enjoy new episodes every Wednesday on the Audacy app and all other podcast platforms. For those who might not be familiar, Office Ladies is a must-listen for fans of the beloved television show The Office. Best friends and former co-stars Jenna Fischer and Angela Kinsey break down individual episodes of The Office and share exclusive behind-the-scenes stories that only they can tell. The podcast has featured a star-studded lineup of guests, including Steve Carell, John Krasinski, Rainn Wilson, Ed Helms, Kate Flannery, Ellie Kemper, Greg Daniels, BJ, Novak, Zach Wilson, Josh Groban, Ken Jeong, Jake Lacey, Craig Robinson, Tim Meadows, Creed Bratton, Bryan Cranston, Larry Wilmore, Will Ferrell, Bob Odenkirk, and even Billie Eilish. In addition to Office Ladies, Audacy will also handle sales and distribution for The Lazy Genius with Kendra Adachi, which is part of the Office Ladies network. On this weekly show, Kendra Adachi, who is part systems expert and part permission giver, helps listeners be geniuses about the things that matter and lazy about the things that do not. The Lazy Genius will make its move to Audacy on August 12th, 2024, with new episodes being released every Monday. Jenna Fischer shared her excitement about the partnership, saying, "Angela and I were known for our chattiness on the set of The Office, and for documenting details of our workday in photos, blog posts, and journal entries. We have taken all of that and funneled it into the Office Ladies podcast. Our Office family, the cast and the crew, have been so supportive of the podcast. They let us text and email them the craziest questions each week so that we can gather all of the behind-the-scenes info that our fans love. And we have been fortunate enough to welcome guest directors like Bryan Cranston, as well as special guest stars Will Ferrell and Bob Odenkirk on the podcast to discuss their experiences on the show. I think it really speaks to what a special experience it was for people to work on The Office. We are all really proud of the community we built there. We are getting near the end of our first rewatch, and I say first because maybe we will just start all over again just like the fans do. We are excited to partner with Audacy as we develop what is next for Office Ladies and expand the Office Ladies network. One thing I know for sure, we want to keep talking." Angela Kinsey also expressed her enthusiasm, adding, "Every day on the set of The Office, Jenna and I would gab. We'd have big talks in the hair and makeup trailer, by the snack table, between scenes, during lunch, and on our drive home." One day, Rainn Wilson looked at us and exclaimed, "What more could you two have to talk about?" Well, as it turns out, a lot more. I love working with my best friend, talking about The Office and everything else that life brings our way. And I love the Office Ladies community. It is a fantastic group of fans that love The Office and best friendship as much as we do. And we are thrilled to have the Office Ladies network, which includes Office Ladies and The Lazy Genius, join the Audacy family. As Michael Scott would say, it is a win-win-win. So Rainn, buckle in. We have a lot more to say. Jenna Weiss Berman, Executive Vice President at Audacy Podcasts, commented on the partnership, saying, "What Jenna and Angela have built and accomplished in this space is nothing short of a phenomenon, and we are beyond thrilled to welcome them and bring the juggernaut that is Office Ladies into the Audacy family. We are excited to work with them to deliver exciting, wide-ranging opportunities for clients and stellar content for millions of listeners and fans. The Office Ladies podcast has been wildly successful, boasting over 400 million downloads and regularly appearing on Edison Research's list of the top 50 podcasts in the United States. The show has received numerous awards, including iHeartRadio Podcast of the Year and Best Ad Reads, the People's Choice Webby Award for Television and Film, General Series, DiscoverPod's Best TV and Movies Podcast, and the Signal Award for Television and Film Podcast. New episodes consistently rank in the top 5 Apple Comedy podcasts. We are thrilled to see what this new partnership will bring for both Office Ladies and The Lazy Genius. This is a significant move in the podcasting industry, and we will be keeping a close eye on how it develops. Next up, we have some invaluable insights from Forbes on how to build an influential podcast. Whether you are a seasoned podcaster or just starting out, these tips can help you elevate your game. Tip number 1, define your niche. Forbes emphasizes the importance of carving out a specific niche for your podcast. By focusing on a particular topic or audience, you can create content that is both relevant and engaging. This not only helps attract a dedicated listener base, but also makes it easier to market your podcast. Tip number 2, consistency is key. According to Forbes, one of the most critical factors in building an influential podcast is consistency. This means not only releasing episodes on a regular schedule, but also maintaining a consistent tone and quality. Consistency helps build trust with your audience and keeps them coming back for more. Tip number 3, invest in quality equipment. Forbes points out that the quality of your audio can make or break your podcast. Investing in good microphones, headphones, and editing software can significantly enhance the listening experience. Remember, if your podcast sounds professional, it will be taken more seriously. Tip number 4, engage with your audience. Forbes suggests that engaging with your audience can help build a loyal community around your podcast. This can be done through social media, listener feedback, and even live events. The more you interact with your listeners, the more invested they will become in your content. Tip number 5, collaborate with other podcasters. Collaboration is a powerful tool for growth. Forbes recommends reaching out to other podcasters in your niche for guest appearances, cross-promotions, or even joint projects. These collaborations can expose your podcast to new audiences and provide fresh perspectives. And finally, tip number 6, promote your podcast. Forbes stresses the importance of marketing your podcast effectively. Utilize social media, email newsletters, and even paid advertising to get the word out. The more you promote your podcast, the more likely you are to attract new listeners. So, there you have it, 6 tips from Forbes to help you build an influential podcast. Defining your niche, staying consistent, investing in quality equipment, engaging with your audience, collaborating with other podcasters, and promoting your podcast are all crucial steps to take. Whether you are just starting out or looking to take your podcast to the next level, these tips can provide a solid foundation for success. Our final segment today comes from PR Daily, where Allison Carter dives into how to vet podcasts as media relations targets. With the podcasting landscape growing exponentially, it's essential to determine which podcasts are worth your time and effort. Here are some key takeaways from Andrew Petro, an account director on the B2B tech team at Matter Communications. First, vet the podcast. Determining a podcast's overall reach can be tricky since distribution is often spread across multiple platforms like Spotify and Apple, which do not always share listener stats. Petro suggests looking at social followings and other places where the host appears. In the B2B space, many hosts also have large LinkedIn followings or columns on prestigious websites. This raised profile can indicate the value of an appearance on that podcast. A higher followership often means higher listenership, and your client's appearance might even get a shout out on the host's social media platforms, providing great value add. Additionally, look at previous guest lists. Make sure the show attracts people similar to your client or even at higher tiers. If they are routinely landing big-name interviews from major players in the space, you want in. For newer podcasts, Petro recommends a more wait-and-see approach to ensure the content is a fit before diving in. Another useful tip is to ask other professionals. Matter Communications hosts an internal Teams channel called Media Mavens, where team members share information on promising leads, journalists, and new media outlets. This collaborative approach can offer valuable insights from colleagues working in different sectors of the business. Next, making the pitch is crucial. Getting booked on a podcast is not significantly different from other media outlets. The key is to do your research and understand the show's format. Listen to a few episodes to get a feel for the vibe and personalize your pitch accordingly. If you want to get on the podcast, listen to a few episodes and get a feel for the vibe, Petro advises. Every podcast is a little bit different in the tone and what they talk about. Do your research, personalize, truly personalize, and put yourself in the reporter's or the podcaster's shoes. Finally, prep your client. Client preparation for podcasts is similar to getting them ready for any other media appearance. Create a briefing document, go over key messaging, but also encourage them to be more conversational. Many podcasts like to save a personal question for the end of the episode, so make sure your client is ready for those. Prepping them for what's their favorite book, what's happening outside of work, just making sure they're ready for those, Petro notes. Because we listen to the podcast ahead of time, we can kind of guess what they're going to ask on every episode. Podcasting has truly come of age, and as traditional media shrinks, it continues to grow. With these tips, you can ensure that you are targeting the right podcasts to support your public relations goals and make the most of your media strategy. And that brings us to the end of today's episode. Thank you for joining me on Michelle's Podcast News. Be sure to tune in tomorrow for more updates from the podcasting world. Until then, have a great day.